Hey guys, this is Lala Legacy back with another episode of Eden in the PLUS MOSAIC. So, we all know what happens in the second part of these little side stories, so I would not be surprised if we get to that part with Lavie today. So, let's just jump right back in. I'd never once thought of entrusting my back to someone else. I just looked forward and kept running. Before I knew it, I had left my comrades behind me and was somewhere seemingly detached from the entire world. And right here How about you, Lavie? There's no way the men around me could leave such a fine woman alone. Lavie's voice was rather incredulous, and she shrugged her shoulders. Lavie was indeed a beauty, and for all her training, she had lost neither her style nor femininity. There were other female soldiers in this place, but the men definitely focused on her. But I never met the sort of man I'd consider entrusting my back to either. Lavie pointed a meaningful glance my way and nodded once. Of course. I think you and I are similar. We've always lived alone. And when we meet someone with the same scent... Yeah. That little bout earlier. Neither of us bore a single injury because our skills rivaled one another's. And more than anything, we stopped just in the nick of time because we trusted each other. Lavie, I might be okay with entrusting my back to you. For the first time, I honestly felt that I might have met someone whom I could depend on. This was probably a blessing in a life which had so few good things in it. Might be okay with entrusting your back, huh? That's a pretty haughty way of saying it. We're soldiers, the same rank at that. There's no need to be modest about each and every little thing, is there? Not just the same rank, but the same military record, and we've been partners for a while now. Yeah, I guess being reserved would be strange. It's not like I particularly revere you or anything, but yeah, when it comes to someone I could fight with, you're number one. I'm honored. I took out my pistol and switched off the safety and fired off an entire magazine into my target in one go. Yeah, I guess that's about right. Oh my god, that smug little look on his face though. That's awful. Every bullet dead center. You must be making fun of me. Consider it a goal. Handguns certainly are difficult, but once you get the hang of them, they can hit across large distances with surprising accuracy. Sorry guys. It doesn't get any better than being able to hit accurately, even if it's practice. Damn. Once again, Lavie clicked her tongue loud enough for me to hear and glared at me. In your case, your shooting skills might be poor, but you are more than competent in everything else. There's no other woman like you. For the record, that sounds like you're complimenting me. I smiled a bit, removed the magazine, and checked the handgun. I guess I'm happy I got stronger. It's kind of strange for men and women to approve of each other due to something like strength though, huh? To each their own. We might be soldiers, but if you took away the fact that our job put our lives on the line, it really is just another job. But even so, who we have at our side can be important. I want it to be someone reliable, and if that happens to be a woman... If it were a man... Without one mistake, it might turn into this. Lavie smiled bitterly and approached me. Yeah, how ridiculous. I gazed right at her, my lips almost forming a smile. Before the sight of how utterly undisciplined the soldiers here were had practically given me a headache. But now, I was grateful their laziness had given me a moment where I could be alone with Lavie. This place stinks of gunpowder. It's not romantic in the slightest. Want to go somewhere else? Lavie thought about it for a moment. Yeah, how about your room, Warrant Officer Haruna? As she said that, the anxiety faded from her face. I nodded to her without hesitation. Oh no, here we go. It's happening. Yup, it is happening. Words as well as plans were no longer necessary. When I thought about it, the nature of our relationship changed. Had likely changed the very moment Lavie kissed me. Oh my god, Lavie, you are freaking cute. Lavie's cheeks were dyed bright red as she sat down on the bed. I could tell she was still a little anxious. This kind of feels weird. I don't think so. This is why men are so... It must be nice to not hesitate or get nervous at times like this. Being a man, it wasn't like I could act on instinct either, though. I never said you had to force yourself. That's irritating in its own way. You've got such a fine woman sitting in wait right in front of you, and you're just going to go, "Oh, all right," and walk away? Is this really worth glaring at me over? She was going off on quite the little tangent. But you're right, I can't just back down now. I approached Lavie on top of the bed. While she did react with some surprise, she gazed straight at me. What are you planning to do? Isn't it obvious what I'm going to do? Oh, that's true, but... Although she was the one who invited me, it looked like she had a sudden bout of stage fright. She had some oddly girly sides to her for someone with a military upbringing. Try not to jump me too much. Jump you? Yes, if you approach too quickly. I got a bit lost in thought, like Lavie had earlier. Then tried to rush toward her all at once. Oh god! I suddenly stopped, or maybe I should say I had no choice but to stop. Damn! Hey, didn't you hear what I said? Damn, Lavie! That's awesome. That's something I would probably freaking do. I kind of wanted to see what would happen. I didn't expect her to shove a knife in my face at a time like this. I mean... how many times do you have to point a knife at me until you're satisfied? If you'd messed up in any way just now, I would have died. No, that wasn't my intention. Lavie casually tossed the knife aside and returned to her original pose. Since I ended up pulling out knives on reflex, you should probably be careful. This is tenser than a battlefield in a certain sense. That's fine. I'd be kind of irritated if you were too calm. Since my heart is racing so fast. It's nothing. More importantly, do you plan to keep me waiting forever? No. If she hadn't kept thrusting knives at me, I would have gotten a little further ages ago, but I decided to set that aside. So it's okay, right? It's alright. I don't think I'll pull another knife. I wish she'd say that with some degree of confidence. I sighed in a way Lavie wouldn't notice and slowly reached for her uniform. Alright, so I'm gonna cut it off here, guys. I will see you back when it's done. Okay, guys, so I think that is it for that part. So, my room was silent. Lavie and I had already finished getting our uniforms back on. The mood between us seemed completely different from anything we had felt before. To tell you the truth, huh? I was a little surprised that she spoke first. It hurt terribly, maybe even more so than being shot. It couldn't have been that bad. You're a man, you wouldn't understand. Well, that's true, but no matter how you look at it, there was no way it could be worse than a broken rib. But I got the feeling it wasn't a good idea to disagree with her right now. Honestly, women are at a real disadvantage. Lavie glared at me as she mumbled, "Are you hiding anything else? I'm a little worried since you seem upset, so I'll just take your word for it." Anything else, huh? I intended it as a joke, but it seemed Lavie did have something. Her eyes wandered, and after a bit of pondering, "I told you earlier, right?" "What?" "That I didn't have anyone I thought I could entrust my back to." "Oh, that?" "That was a bit of a lie." "A lie?" "Yeah." Lavie nodded and showed a hint of a wry smile. "It's been years, but I met this man on the battlefield once." "He was a soldier, just like me, but he was way more impressive than I was." "He was quite the hero, although that might be overstating it a bit. He was a terribly unsociable guy. I was with him for only a few days, and we never talked very much. Well, oh wait, well, nobody should talk too much on the battlefield. He was correct. I was fairly, taciturn in my unit as well." "That's true enough, but I wanted him to worry about me just a little too. I couldn't complain about that on the battlefield though." "So what happened to him?" "Nothing, nothing at all. The time we were together was short, and we wound up heading to different fronts immediately after. And yet, I wonder why it took me a while to forget about him." "I see." "It was him." "If it were him, it might have been okay for me to entrust my back to him." "It was him! Oh my god, that's so cute!" "Kind of. I mean, children at war is not cute, but for them to yeah, their connection is cute, not, yeah." Lavie looked like she was looking far into the distance again and whispered that practically to herself. "Well, that's all there is to it. Hey, Ro, couldn't you give me a little more of a reaction here? Male jealousy is an unsightly thing. Not to mention, that's way in the past, sorry. I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me, but the past doesn't matter." "You never change, huh?" "It hasn't been all that long since I met you. It'd be strange if I changed in that short a time." She knows it was him! But our relationship changed in such a short time. That's something else entirely, isn't it? Then I guess time isn't a problem. I still don't get what you're trying to say. It's nothing, nothing. Lavie laughed, shook her head, and adjusted her cap. More importantly, what are you doing after this? The night is still young. Yeah. As I was about to respond, an electronic noise came from the communication terminal. I quickly picked it up and pressed the talk button. Yes, this is Warrant Officer Haruna. Oh my goodness. I've got a bad feeling about this. Yeah. Wait, yeah, this is Inaba. Where are you right now? Returning to your room? Yes, I'm in my room right now. I see. You two got off work just a little while ago, right? Yes, that is correct. A dangerous gaze was being directed at me by Lavie, but I decided not to worry about it. Sorry, but could you come to my room for a bit? I have a favor to ask. Understood. I should head there right away then. Yeah, also, not just you. Could you bring Warrant Officer Lavie to come as well? Huh? Bring Warrant Officer Lavie with me? Huh? That's right. Your assignment might be a little difficult to go it alone this time around. I understand. In that case, I'll call for her. Oh, that'd be a big help. I was just thinking it'd be scary if I were to wake her up while she's sleeping. Thanks for that. Roger. The transmission cut out with a beep. A job, he said? Well, I guess we don't need any explanation. It's Major Inaba calling us. Honestly, I wish he'd just give us a break with the overtime, at least for today. Yeah, this was back when Ryou was still killing like those other soldiers. I agree. The mood we'd finally gotten going will have likely vanished by the time our assignment was finished. Granted, it wasn't as though I could refuse my mission, so there was no helping it. I guess getting a mission together is the sole consolation we're getting tonight. I'll be sure to watch your back. Me too. I'll keep an eye out for you, Warrant Officer Haruna. Yeah, I'm relying on you. I nodded and gazed intently at her. The one speaking in a sweet voice on my bed right in front of me right now wasn't Lavie, but my partner, Warrant Officer Lavina F. Asai. Okay, shall we? Yeah, let's go. We lined up and headed for the door. Tonight, I will be fighting shoulder to shoulder with her on the same battlefield. But as soldiers, this would not be the end for us. Someday, Lavie and I might end up heading to different fronts. But... Say, Warrant Officer Haruna, I just thought of something. Oh my goodness. They're really cute, though. I'd like to overcome my weakness after all. Teach me to shoot. I don't mind. How about an exchange? I teach you about knives. I'm not especially bad with knives. You saw earlier, right? But I'm better. Why don't we start by finding out if that's true or not? Sure. It would prove to be quite entertaining. Or it should prove. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it does sound fun. Right now, we were together. We would watch each other's backs as partners. It would be fine, even if someday we were to be separated. The bond we formed as we risked our lives for one another would never break. Never. Even if we were to be separated by Earth and space. Oh, they said no! Why would you put that in there? No! That's... no! That made me want to cry. Because we've all seen the ending of the main game. Just no! We already know what happens to her. That's really sad. Anyways, I guess that's it for Lavie's little side thing, a bond of knives and guns. So the next time that we play Eden, it's going to be a miracle on the water surface with Maya. So that's all the time for this episode, guys. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below, and if you haven't already, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!